The Chinese has a term called 存异求同. We first doesn't mean that we first, you later, or we first, they later. Actually, we first means we before I. So the key is, who are we? The reality is that I think even at 0.97 or even at 1, we are actually below 50% of replacement rate. And that is not good news anyway. So whatever TFR that we have, I think we are going to have very low birth rates, and the number of babies that we produce will not be enough to replace ourselves, which means that if we do nothing, the Singapore citizen core will begin to shrink after a while. Now we still are benefiting from longevity. Many of our old seniors are living longer, and therefore the population is still quite healthy. But if we don't do anything, over time, the Singapore citizen population will decline. And we may not be able to grow very quickly, but at least have a moderate growth rate over a period of time. Even despite our immigration policies and so on, our citizenship growth rate over time has also come down. Then the last 5 years, it grew at 0.76% per annum. And last year, up to June 2025, 1 year, the growth rate was 0.7% per annum. So even despite the immigration policies and so on, our citizenship population growth rate is still growing, but the growth rate is slowing down. We have to be mindful how we can make sure that we will continue to have a strong citizenship core, continue to have a dynamic population, dynamic society. That is very important for us. It is also important for us as a starting point to acknowledge and to know that they are different from us, because they are new citizens. They have spent a good part of their life in different culture, have different practices, maybe hold different values. But the fact that they have decided to become Singapore citizens, they have decided that there's something common between Singapore and them, that they want to become part of this bigger fraternity, if you like. And therefore they have decided to cast their lot with us, and they want to embrace Singapore. But at the same time, we need to recognize that some of the differences will remain. So the challenge is for us to see how we can recognize the differences while at the same time expand the commonality, the common space between the new citizens and Singaporeans, existing Singaporeans, so that we can become a more dynamic society. I think this is going to be the key challenge. The Chinese has a term called 存异求同. That means recognizing and to some extent preserving some of the differences, but at the same time expand the commonality so that there's more space for us to work together, to live together, to learn together, and to grow old together. We first, but who are we? I think we first doesn't mean that we first, you later, or we first, they later. Actually, we first means we before I. So the key is, who are we? All of us together is we. The difference is not about me and myself alone, but about us together collectively. And the we could include foreigners. The we, I think just now there was a good comment about we must take care of foreigners. When they are here, they contribute to our economy. They are migrant workers, domestic helpers, workers that help us in domestic work. We must take care of them. We have a responsibility to take care of them first. And therefore, it's important for us to make sure that we take care of all of us together as a collective society. And so we first could mean my residents, could mean my society, our circle of friends, our circle of contact. We must look at collective benefit rather than individual personal benefit. I think that's the idea of a we first society. Not so much we and them and we and you. So I think it's not a divisive approach, but more a collective, inclusive approach to look at we first rather than I first.